Apple just admitted the new Siri isn't coming this year. Internally, their own Siri lead reportedly called the delays ugly and embarrassing. They sold us an Apple Intelligence future and pushed the headline features roughly 2 years. If Apple can make this look good, something's wrong. So, how did we get here? Let's go back to June 18th, 2024. The day Apple promised to fix everything wrong with Siri. I remember watching a live stream. Tim Cook walks on stage like he knows he's about to blow our minds. For nearly 2 hours, they painted the picture of an AI-powered future. They showed Siri having actual conversations and text rewriting that made it sound sharper. They said it would work across every app and even understand your intentions when speaking. And these features weren't coming next year. They said we'll have it by the end of 2024, with some features rolling out in weeks. Yeah, that did not end up happening. One of the first red flags that came was from one of Apple's biggest fans, John Gruber, calling Apple Intelligence vaporware, basically an expensive idea that doesn't actually exist. But that was only the beginning of it. Those Siri upgrades quietly delayed to 2026. Their car project is dead because of the broken AI that was supposed to power it. I was ready for the Siri that didn't make me want to remove it every time I asked it a simple command. Instead, yesterday I asked Siri to play a workout playlist. Apparently, it thought I wanted to turn on the garage lights. There's no app integration, no context understanding. That's not the Apple way. They only announce things when they're ready. It turns out AI is much harder than expected for them. They have to innovate in that space because ChatGPT and Gemini are already doing things Apple says Siri will someday be able to do. Here's what I think really happened. Apple's delay wasn't just about missing a deadline, it was a massive internal pivot for them. AI was the story of 2024. With ChatGPT and Gemini, the whole world was going all in, and Apple couldn't afford to be quiet. So they put together those cinematic demos, showcasing a context-aware Siri, deep app interactions, seamless text rewriting, and presented the future they hope to build, giving everyone something to talk about. But behind the scenes, Apple realized that the underlying tech, what they later described as View 1 architecture, just didn't cut it. It wasn't meeting their quality or privacy standards, and pushing it live would damage trust. So they scrapped View 1 mid-development and shifted to a new unified V2 architecture, designed to meet Apple's notoriously high benchmark. But that meant pushing the release date way out, possibly to spring 2026. On top of that, Apple had to fight on two fronts. On one hand, there was investor pressure, as analysts called their AI strategy a disaster, warning that Apple is lagging behind Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI. On the other hand, the media and the fans themselves reacted strongly, with commenters calling it an overhyped show and even prompting lawsuits over false advertising. So rather than ship something half-baked, Apple decided to pause, rebuild, and only ship when it really works. But in the break, the AI developers didn't wait, and now Apple is playing catch-up to a world that's already moved ahead. So what happens now that Apple Intelligence's big moment is being pushed back? Multiple reports think we're looking at a spring 2026 release window, bundled into iOS 26.4, which is nearly 2 years from the original hype. Apple making sure the personalization and reliability is correct before release. At the same time, developers aren't left in the dark. Apple recently opened access onto its on-device foundation model through the Foundation Models framework. Devs can start building apps that tap directly into Apple Intelligence, privately, offline, and optimized for Apple Silicon. It's Apple's way of preparing everyone for the grand release of its service. And then there's the bigger picture. Apple isn't just tweaking Siri voice commands. They're creating a much larger AI home strategy in development. Lamp robots that act as animated companions, smart displays that double as home hubs, even AI-driven security cameras. The endgame here isn't just a better assistant on your phone, it's Siri evolving into a presence across your environment. Apple is trying to play the long game, to reframe what Siri is, a lagging voice assistant, into the centerpiece of a hardware ecosystem. If they pull this off, the spring 2026 rollout can mark the beginning of Apple redefining how we interact with both devices and our homes. However, this long delay is a huge disappointment for everyone, and that's why its AI reveal kinda sucks. I might turn this concept into a series, you know? Things that suck. Honestly, I really want this to work, so here's my question. How long have you been using other AI tools? Feel free to drop a comment down below. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe, and thanks for watching.